Winston winner Jeff Gordon still has high hopes for a third, but what happened? I mean, you're a dirt track ace. You couldn't even save it?
Oh, I tried. That thing went sideways so quick, I didn't know what happened. And I stood in the gas, and it just turned right back. And I think I clipped the 9.9, then I hit the wall, and it tore that race car up really bad. That was unfortunate. You know, it didn't look like it was raining that hard when we took the green, but boy, when we got to one, it was coming down hard and tore up some race cars. But hey, this is the Winston. You know, it just gets more and more interesting all the time. We're able to get the backup car out, and you know, who knows? Maybe we can go out there and win with the backup. Wouldn't that be a story?
That would be a big story. You've had a lot of interesting and exciting moments in this race.
Well, I mean, everybody has interesting moments and exciting things happen. Even if you don't see it, there's exciting things happening because you've got your hands full. It's one of those races where you put everything out there on the line. Every restart, every time, every line you take is critical, to whether you're going to win this race. And so, it's unfortunate that happened, but at least we get the opportunity to get another car out and maybe we can do some good. The biggest thing we want to do is learn something here tonight that we might be able to take into next week.
This is not your 600 car, but would you like to change the engine if you had a chance?
Oh yeah, that engine now in the primary car was an awesome engine. I mean, that's the type of horsepower you got to have to win this race. Our backup engine is good. And we'll find out if it's going to be good enough because it's not raining right now. I don't think we have time to change it.
Still optimistic, even without the motor they want to run, Mike.
The track would like to think they can dry this place in about an hour or so. Now here's Tony Stewart on the start. That little fishtail there in second gear. Did it hurt the motor?
I don't think so. That didn't sound like excessive RPM to me. Maybe it spun the tires a little bit, but sure didn't sound like it hurt the motor by any means. How about Dick? What are they saying down there?
Well, I can tell you that there's an engine on the ground in front of this car. The engine hoist is there. The toolbox is there. But here's the guy that's got the answer. Coach Gibbs owns this car. What's going on?
Well, I don't know if I have the answer or not. The problem is when the race started, the car broke loose. And Tony said, hey, I buzzed it. In other words, I posted the tack at 10,000. When you do that, you have a good chance of hurting the motor. And so now we're stuck. We're trying to say it's going to take a good hour to change a motor. Do you gamble and do that? Or do you put him back out there with a car with a potentially hurt motor in it?
And the gamble is not getting it done in time?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Well, a whole bunch of folks are in a big powwow here. Jimmy Maycar, Greg Zipadelli, Mark Conquest, the engine builders. Steve Peterson is here. This is quite a collection of people trying to make the decision as to whether this engine should be changed or not. And the decision will come momentarily.
Larry, if they over-rev the motor, are there tests they can perform there to see if any damage was done before they commit to pulling it out?
It would be hard. I mean, they could pull the valve covers and maybe check to see if a valve spring is broke or something. They even have what they call a borescope, where they pull a spark plug out of the cylinder, and it's a little light and an eye that goes down in each cylinder, and you look at the pistons and things like that. But Darrell, what he's seen buzz the tires. When he accelerated from 3,500 RPMs where they started to race, the rear wheel spun and the RPMs came up. Let's listen to it. There it was. You heard it. Again, it only did it for just a split second there.
You know what? He started in first gear. That's what he did. He had the car in first gear. If you notice, his shifting was way up here.
And in segment one, and 50 grand in the balance.
Now we got to watch these guys on the restart. They pick up that rubber and trash on their tires. They've been spinning a little bit. Looks like everybody's all pretty clean this time.
Need to watch that 24 car though. Restarts there in 7th position. Jeff Gordon. Remember, he's got those 4 fresh tires, fresher than anybody in front of him right here with 6 laps to go.
Kind of boxed right now though. There's Jarrett on the outside and Mark right there in front of him. He can clear Jarrett and get up on the outside. Make a run down the back here. He's got a little room there. He gets in. Now going around the outside of Mark.
Now Ward Burton did not get a good restart.
Boy, look at him. Look at him. Look at him go through that corner. All the way up beside Rusty, right through the middle of the corner.
Darrell, in 3 and 4, that second groove, it's fast. It's a lot faster than the bottom of the racetrack.
It's not used so much. See, when it's that bottom groove is used all the time. Here he goes up beside of Rusty again. And folks, just remember one thing. That is a backup car.
Right.
So are the cars that they haul around, are they just in there for show, or are they really good cars? I believe this tells you they're really good cars.
Now on this restart, it was the outside line that went. Bobby Labonte is our leader, and Jeremy Mayfield, who restarted 12th, is now second. Ward Burton, who was our leader, is third. Oops, fourth. Todd Bodine goes by.
And I tell you, Ward had such an awesome car, but because of the restart and getting pinned down on the inside, he lost a bunch of track position.
Boy, look at him all the way to the bottom of the racetrack down there in 3 and 4. His car is so fast through the center of the corner. We come around here, we're going to have 3 laps to go to end this 30-lap segment.
Who's running 12th?
Right now, Johnny Benson. Twelfth could be the lucky number. If they invert the maximum number of drivers, that would be 12.
Who's 8th?
Tony Stewart.
That's the number, 8.
Well, you wanted to be 12th.
No, remember we argued about this today already once. I told you it was going to be 8.
We don't never argue. We just discuss.
Mayfield to the lead.
We disagreed about this earlier today. You said 12. I said, well, maybe 12, but I think 8.
Speaking of 12, Jeremy Mayfield, 2 laps to go. Be white flag next time to end this 30-lap segment.
Johnny Benson's been in the right spot all night. He was in the right spot when Ryan Newman blew up. That got him in the big show. He's going to be in the right spot and start on the pole in this next segment.
But you know, the Penske engines, the Penske cars, Newman in that open race, Rusty on the pole, Jeremy Mayfield, these cars have got some incredible straightaway speed.
Bobby Labonte, he's lost 2, 3. Looks like he's going to lose more positions. I believe he's got a problem.
No. He's looking for 12.
He's looking for 12. Trust me.
Well, he falls back behind Jarrett at 8th. Matt, is there a problem?
Well, Mike, he's just talking on the radio about he's trying to find about the 11th or 12th position. I really don't know why he'd want to do that. Do you?
He better hurry up and count fast.
Well, there he is. Terry Labonte is now 12th.
You better pick it back up.
Oh, Terry, that would be his brother. Well, what do? Do you dust your brother?
Yeah, he's losing more positions as well.
He's got something wrong. Yeah. He's got something wrong.
Yeah, but we had a better story.
Oh, I like the story. I thought it played real well.
Now the caution's out. That ends the 30-lap segment. Coming to it.
Boy, be interested to see what Bobby Labonte has to say about his car. We'll get 3 of our best men right on it.
So Jeremy Mayfield banks, what, $50,000 for winning the first segment.
50. Where'd he come from?
4th on the restart, right behind Bobby Labonte.
Just got a heck of a jump. Got a heck of a jump.
And Elliott Sadler, he finished in the 12th position for that segment. So it'll be interesting to see how many cars we're going to invert.
My money's on 12.
Concerning the second segment of tonight's running of the Winston, here's Mr. Rick Sanders, President of Sports Marketing Enterprises. Rick?
Thank you, and I can honestly say good morning, race fans. Listen, since we began the Winston 16 years ago, it has been a showcase for the best the NASCAR Winston Cup Series has to offer, the All-Star Race. But it's also been about the fans, and this year we have added a new fan element. For the first time, you had the opportunity exclusively through NASCAR.com to pick the pack and decide how many cars should be inverted in the second 30-lap segment. I've got with me, now that you've made your decision, Drew Reifenberger, the Executive Vice President and General Manager of NASCAR.com, and he has just handed me the results. What we will do is make an inversion based, again, on that fan voting, and the results are as follows. For 6 places to be inverted, 13% voted. 14% said 8 positions. 25% wanted to see 10 positions inverted, and the majority, and therefore the number that we will invert tonight, 48% voted for 12 positions to be inverted for the start of the second segment.
Well, that's a surprise.
To whom? To whom?
Take the lead down the back straightaway and never look back.
3 to go in the second segment of the Winston on Stock Car Racing's All-Star, all-night affair.
Oh, this is just, all we're doing is just building a little drama, folks. The 10 laps, that's what you want to watch.
And that's why this grandstand is still completely
Nobody's
full.
left, and Jeff knows that for a fact. Right, Jeff?
You're right, but I think you're wrong. And the reason I say this, I believe watching the way things are going right now, Jeff Gordon may have a better shot on the outside there on these restarts. The restarts have been with a guy on the outside, I think, has actually gone quicker on the restarts. So in Dale Jarrett's case, he may be better off starting on the outside if provided everybody gets on off pit road, because we haven't factored in the pit stops. You got to factor in those pit stops. You come down pit road, you may not get back out in second. You may get out first.
What about two tires? I didn't heard anybody say anything about two tires.
Well, now the times have really dropped off, Darrell. 31:40s for leader Tony Stewart, 31:50s and higher for the rest of these cars.
But this is 30 laps. All they've got to run is 10 laps, a third of that amount. So that could be a difference in their strategy. But right now, the crew chief, regardless of what they're going to do, he's running around. We talked about pit crews all weekend. He's telling guys, this is the one that counts. This is what we got to do right here.
And we saw Rusty Wallace's guys, no fuel, put 4 tires on in 13 seconds.
That's right.
So I got to get 4. We're going to come, yeah.
60 laps. And Tony Stewart will bank $50,000 as the leader at 60 laps.
I don't believe you got to come in and get tires. If somebody stays out, all they're going to be is a high-speed roadblock. That's all they're going to be.
Jarrett and Benson battling.
Whoa, Benson. Oh, man, he ran up the hill underneath it. Jarrett. Whoa. Went in there on the bottom, Jarrett on the outside, and then Benson's car just sucked up almost into the side of Dale Jarrett. Okay, boys. Place your bets.
I'm not stopping.
Place your bets.
That's why I'm an announcer and not a driver.
You're not stopping?
But I'm not stopping.
I think that what's going to make the big difference here is a bunch of guys in the front have got to stop. That's going to let a bunch of guys in the back say, I'm going to stay out or take 2 tires. What do you find out, Matt?
About 5 laps ago, Darrell, Tony Stewart came out and he said, Zippy, to his crew chief Greg Zipadelli, how much does this segment pay, if any? He said, Smoke, it pays 50 grand. He says, but should I? Well, what do you think? Would it be better if I restarted this final 10-lap deal on the outside or inside? He says, just pick up the money and just get a good restart.
There you go. That's the way to race.
We do need to update. That battle was really not a battle. They had already completed the 60 laps. Johnny Benson will finish 3rd in that segment.
So 2 down, 1 to go, and it's the lightning round. The 10-lap shootout is next. Their money. Matt?
The 20 car, Tony Stewart, stops straight. This will be a 4-tire stop. Mikey Lingerfeld comes around to the left front. They made an air pressure adjustment. The 20 car, Stewart, was a little tight in the center of the corner. A little trouble in the rear, and he's down and away. The 88's going to beat him off the deck. Jeff Gordon is also taking a 4-tire pit stop. Essentially no changes. Wow, the race to the end of pit road is awesome. Rusty beats Gordon out there.
I got it. Look like there's some pushing the envelopes to me getting out of the pits.
Jeremy Mayfield took 2 tires and got out with Ward Burton.
But he's going to have to come back in.
He'll pay the price.
Speeding on pit road.
Well, that was the 2.
That's all we got, man. We know we ain't going to do
it looked to me like there were several guys that were pushing the envelope, getting out of the pits.
Mayfield and Rusty. Here's a look at it. Now there's Mayfield, top of the screen. He's out of his pit.
Ward Burton in the 22 car, running Jeremy almost all the way.
But here comes Rusty right here, and watch it. He really gasses it to get ahead.
This is where pit road speed stops. This is the line for the race out of pit road.
So penalty stops coming for our pole sitter, Rusty Wallace, and for Jeremy Mayfield. Too fast, exiting the pits.
And you just don't know how much of a penalty that's really going to be with only 10 laps to go. That is
I know exactly how much it's going to be, my friend. $500,000 worth. That's exactly what that is. I'm afraid that was a costly little speeding ticket.
could be a penalty.